Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to be covering a legend that I have spent roughly the past month thinking about, creating backstory for, designing abilities for, drawing, and filling in with color. I am no expert at art, but it is something I have enjoyed doing since I was young. I figured since I had this legend idea and wanted to share it with you all, this would be a great time to use some creativity and show you what I envisioned this legend to be. I truly believe this legend could be a great addition to Apex Legends, and here is why. Without further ado, I introduce to you Malware. Let's begin with his backstory so you understand who this legend is. Malware is a former dedicated soldier and scientist in the IMC involved heavily with testing of the biological enhancement crossover artificial intelligence technology, or BACE for short. Malware has been working for years on the BACE technology and finally perfected what he knew to be very dangerous technology, but he felt what he was creating was for a greater cause. He even went so far as to do the final testing of the BACE technology on himself and a fellow colleague. The BACE technology allows the user to take complete control of another lifelike entity, including all of their senses, and it greatly increases the physical speed of the user's own body. After seeing the positive result of what Malware had created, a high-ranking official in the IMC, corrupt with a thirst to see the true potential of this technology, came up with a devious plan. This anonymous official decided that Apex Legends games would be the perfect place to test this technology and knew Malware was against them. Though Malware blindly believed in the IMC's mission, he regarded the Apex Legends games to be wrong. So, in order to force Malware, who knew how to use the BACE technology the best, this unknown official took a sinister step. Malware returned to his home one afternoon to find his daughter not there, but a note on the dining room table instead. All it said was, "We have your daughter. In order to get her back, you must test the BACE technology in the Apex Legends games and win. Do not try to find her, or she will not live." The note was marked with the IMC insignia. After deep thought and left with no choice, Malware has joined the Apex Legends games. Coursing with vengeance, Malware will stop at nothing to get his daughter back. There we have Malware's backstory. Now let's get into his gear, abilities, and appearance. Malware wears the BACE technology on his head, down his spine, around his sides, and on his chest. The part of the BACE technology that is attached to his head, spine, and sides is an advanced AI machine that acts like a symbiote. The AI cannot operate without being attached to Malware, and Malware gains a 15% increased movement speed at all times from the machine, boosting his physical strength. This is Malware's passive ability, and it is called Exceeding Tolerance. I believe Octane gains a 30% increase in movement speed from his tactical ability for a comparison. As can be seen, Malware also has a grenade launcher strapped onto his person behind his left shoulder and EMP grenades strapped onto his belt. This grenade launcher relates to Malware's tactical ability called Personal EMP. Every 15 seconds, Malware gains the ability to pull out his grenade launcher that launches an EMP grenade with a 5-meter blast radius that deactivates all enemy weapons in the area for 5 seconds. Traveling back to Malware's head, as can be seen, Malware wears a visor that covers his eyes, and in each ear wears earbuds. Both the visor and the earbuds are synced to the symbiote AI attached to Malware. The part of the BACE technology that is attached around his chest is a drone that can detach and hover through the air. There is also a battery attached to Malware's belt that generates energy from Malware's movements and helps recharge the drone on his chest, which leads to Malware's ultimate ability called Neural System Control. When you activate this ability, you can fly the drone from Malware to an enemy opponent and latch it onto them. Once the drone is latched onto the enemy opponent, it takes over control of their character for 10 seconds. The moment the drone latches onto the target, they are deactivated for 10 seconds. The Malware player can then decide when to activate taking over control of the enemy player by pressing the ultimate button a second time. This allows the Malware player to see and hear everything the other player is experiencing. Not only that, the symbiote machine is synced to the drone that takes over the other player, allowing Malware to seize bodily control along with all of this character's abilities. The range the drone can fly away from malware is 50 meters before it no longer has connection and limits the drone from moving any further away from the malware player. There is also a 10-second limit this drone can be flying in the air before it has to latch onto another player. Otherwise, the ultimate ability will deactivate and go back to the malware player's default view. This restraint on time would be to prevent too much camping when activating the ultimate. The drone would also have a quite high movement speed when you are flying it through the air. One last note, this drone can be shot out of the air resetting the malware player's ultimate, but I would envision it to be pretty tough having the same amount of hit points as a player when the drone is flying. As can be seen, malware is also quite tall compared to the other legends, but more slim than Gibraltar and Caustic. So malware is going to have a bigger hitbox than the other players, but keep in mind he will be able to move 15% faster due to his passive ability as a balance. This should help him get out of the line of fire before enemy players can focus him down. If what I have said so far about malware's abilities, gear, and appearance hasn't convinced you quite yet on why malware could be a great addition to Apex Legends, let's move on to 2 exciting scenarios that you could see malware in. The first scenario could be very effective with some practice. Imagine you playing as malware, and you and your 2 other teammates are traveling through Skulltown and turn right around one of the center buildings. Right as your team goes around the corner, you bump into an enemy team. Right at that moment, malware activates Personal EMP, his tactical ability, and deactivates 2 of the enemy player's weapons, strategically leaving the 3rd player unharmed. The malware player also had his Neural System Control ultimate ability ready for use and instantly activates that ability after using Personal EMP. He then flies the drone straight for the 3rd player, being in fairly close proximity, and the 2 other players not having their weapons to shoot down the drone, malware takes control of the 3rd enemy opponent and starts attacking that player's own team. For a second or 2 more, the other teammates can't even fight back, and when their weapons are activated again, they have to kill their own teammate or let the fire from their teammate rain down on them, all while your teammates are shooting at them the whole time. Now this may seem pretty overpowered, but you have to effectively land your hits with the grenade launcher and time things just right, especially saving your abilities to combo them together. So as I was saying, with practice, he could be very powerful for your team. For our second scenario, this could be a quite intense and funny situation. Imagine you have 3 malwares on different teams, all in roughly the same area at the same time. Now, all of these malwares have been saving their Neural System Control ability for the same moment. The first malware uses his ultimate and takes control of an enemy Pathfinder on the second malware team. The moment before the Pathfinder was captured, the second malware activated Neural System Control and takes over the first malware. And the moment after the second malware is about to take control of the first malware, here comes the drone from the third malware, who takes control of the second malware. If you didn't follow that, what we now have is the first malware seeing what the second malware's teammate Pathfinder is seeing. Then the second malware, after capturing the first malware, is now seeing what his teammate Pathfinder is seeing, and the first malware is just sitting there unable to move. Then, the third malware is seeing what the second malware is seeing through the first malware, who is seen through the Pathfinder. So both the first and the second malwares are now doing nothing, and the Pathfinder is being controlled by the third malware. So if that wasn't enough craziness, just imagine even more stacking of that ability, or all of the other possibilities that you could have, like using other players' ultimate abilities. These are only 2 scenarios, but the thought of all of the potential encounters that could arise from having a legend like this seems very exciting to me. So I hope with this backstory, appearance, gear, abilities, and the potential events that could arise from having malware included in Apex Legends, that you too can see why malware would be a great addition to Apex Legends. Please give me your opinion on this legend in the comments section, and/or ideas you might have to make him better or more balanced. Also, if you would like to see more creative videos like this on my channel, please let me know in the comments section and give this video a thumbs up. Depending on how well this video is received will help determine what my next step is. Finally, please subscribe and click on the notification bell if you would like to know when I release this channel's next video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.